This is Aromie here. Welcome back to our life Baxter DLC Step 4. Here we are, reunited with our mans. The pride doesn't want this reunion. Of course, you were that delightful older brother Miranda's. Why wouldn't you be? The vague comment didn't pass you for a second. He was incredulous in an instant.
What?
You know Miranda? Well, no elaboration. He brushed it off with an actual brush through his hair, but Terry caught on the implication and chimed in. Randy? You recognize this guy? She faltered in a similar way, unable to commit to denying, but not being able to confirm either. You couldn't see the faces of your friends. They huddled together to discuss with Miranda in a way that gave you a clear view of Baxter. He was demurely scrutinizing their reactions, tapping a finger against his cheek and gauging what to do next. Maybe they would recognize you if you were wearing black and white, huh, Baxter? Oh, and here I thought you were never coming Baxter, I teased. Well, I remember. It's great to see you again, Baxter. I can't believe you're here. Are you planning a wedding? Well, I remember. He looks so... He's so cute. You son of a bitch, you broke my heart. Baxter's palm cracked against the tabletop. Oh my god, he's so hot. But you're so... Fuck you. You're hot, but fuck you. He abruptly stood, almost knocking the chair over. It was entirely out of place with the restrained countenance you'd always known Baxter maintain. Dude, he's so tall. At his full light, he searched past the others and finally saw the last person attending this meeting. You. Miranda gasped. Terry shouted.
Yeah.
Baxter? Baxter is his name, yep. How did you know this dude? I love Jude. He's like so chill. He's like, yeah, that's his name. How'd you know? The pointed question was shot your way. He corrected himself, lifting a hand to assure you it was fine to forget it.
Hey.
How do you know my little sister? Jude newly directed the interrogation towards who he considered to be the real problem. Baxter stared into your face. He breathed deeply and steadily. Oh, I could be dramatic. You stood rooted in place. You unconsciously stepped forward. You instinctively stepped back. You turned to leave. Oh, my heart hurts. I'm hurting. If I leave, will he chase? Just a question. Just a question. Just a question. An impulse, he called out to you, but cut himself off before uttering a full sentence. The void was filled by someone with far fewer reservations. Chica, wait up. Where are you going? Where are you gonna go without us? We drove here. Yeah, let us come too. There wasn't a plan involved with your course of action, only the need to get away from him. They could come or they could stay. If you had to walk all the way back to the suburbs, you would. So that's not good. We're canceling this meeting, yeah? Jude and Scott had also come along with great migration from Baxter Ward without whispering quietly as they went. We can figure out something else. Oh no. Being confronted by the man you were never meant to see again had smacked you so off guard you'd forgotten the entire situation. It was almost Jude and Scott's wedding, and he was their planner. If you couldn't be in the same room with Baxter, it might spoil what would be one of the best days of their lives. Sonia glanced over his shoulder. Everyone was watching, concerned and confused. If anything could make you feel worse than speaking to Baxter again, it was those frowning faces. You turned around. Sorry. Still unsure but willing to follow your lead, the gang shuffled closer to the chairs. Baxter remained standing on the opposite side of the table as everyone else. You and him were once more face to face.
This is truly an unexpected coincidence, hmm?
You could say fate brought us together. He had a lot of self-possession to look you in the eye so completely. Or maybe he simply didn't care at all. Baxter was always shameless. We spooked him for a moment there, with a placating smile plastered across his cheeks. Baxter ran his hands down the silky edges of his jacket to smooth it out, a familiar gesture for calming his nerves. I should explain. As you might vaguely remember, my name is Baxter Ward. 5 years ago, I stayed in Sunset Bird for a summer vacation during a semester off in college. We spent a bit of time together then. By we, I mean the three of you, along with one other. Cove was his name, I believe.
I apologize.
Now, in the hopes of starting off on the right foot, let me apologize for my younger self. I was incredibly rude in how we ultimately parted ways.
I understand.
I understand the awkwardness entirely. If you understand, why didn't you text me back? You know? Just know that I'm open to any ideas on how to accommodate working together. I am fully committed to ensuring that Mr. Ecker and Mr. Adam have a wonderful wedding. That is the only reason I'm here. Of course. So you can get your shit together and leave again, huh? Of course. You clocked what Baxter was doing immediately. He was placing distance, making this as impersonal as possible. I want to cry. I have feelings for this man, and he's just like, nah, I'm gonna do what I need to do and leave. You know, I don't know how people do summer flings and shit like that. Like, I cannot. I am a one person, and that's it. Alright, you're stuck with me for life, Tyler. Don't leave me, I'm gonna cry. Not a hint of warmth or familiarity could be seen in his sharp features. Even if he was apologizing for what he did, it was as a professional courtesy. That's not the closure I want. But alright. Baxter Ward had magically reappeared right in front of you after 5 years, and he was still completely unreachable. That's the saddest part.
Huh.
It was certainly a revelation for the betrothed. Betrothed? Not betrothed. Betrothed? Every person they'd enlisted to help with the wedding were part of the same past social group. Will there be a problem with this? Terry? Miranda? Michiko? They attempted to prompt a response from all of you.
Huh?
The other normally happy couple in the group shared uneasy glances. It's not like Baxter did anything to me, but...
Is that all right?
Well, it's nice of you to say it, though. Their former friendship with Baxter had been tentative. Whether they could accept him or not came down to the one who vouched for him the most originally, and the one who had the hardest time being near him now. I'm not accepting his apology, no. I'm gonna offer an encouraging smile. I have no words.
I appreciate the understanding.
Yep, He didn't doubt how grateful he was to let bygones be bygones, even if his smile couldn't reach his eyes. My smile's not reaching my eyes either, so it's fair. Taryn ran her brain properly, and that had the domino effect of putting relieved smiles on the faces of Jude and Scott as well. The mood was salvaged. Here. Baxter coolly moved the conversation along. The sooner the topic had nothing to do with his personal life, the better. I've got business cards for you. It has ways to contact me. Email, phone, the usual. Baxter didn't attempt to pass them out directly. Instead, he delicately placed a stack of cards on the table. They were such a stark white. The fancy cloth they rested on looked dingy. Sleek black cursive was printed across the front, very formal. Next, Baxter retrieved a sleek black phone from his pocket. Black and white cards and a black phone. It could be a coincidence. Those color choices normally expressed a lack of interest in displaying any personality, especially with businessmen. Yet a part of you wondered if it was a reference to the unique way he'd utilized those shades in the past.
What do you think?
If possible, I could use your numbers. That will be useful for keeping everyone informed. There's a group chat for the wedding planning. I won't text you privately. I hear you loud and clear. You got it, boss. I'm sure it's a work phone too, anyway. For the second time with Terry and the first for Miranda, numbers were exchanged with Baxter. Thank you. Oh, the third one is such a damn, bro. It's such pettiness. Go for it. He probably changed his number up, I'm sure. I stalled him. It was intended as a slight, but it did make you curious. Did he delete your contact? It remained a mystery because he refused to get into the weeds. Baxter's planner persona wouldn't crack again. Would you mind saying it anyway? That'd be for the best. Fine. He shared it reluctantly. You can do it, Michiko. He was just trying to plan a wedding. He tapped away at the screen as you listed off the sequence before returning the phone into his side jacket.
It's settled.
Thank you for your cooperation. It's settled. One final black and white object appeared from Baxter's pocket, his wallet, which had a green $10 bill, which he put next to the business cards. Please use this for my coffee. I'll take my leave. You're going? We haven't even ordered. I don't want to intrude on a meal between friends and family. We've met. He tugged at his collar over that understatement. We've exchanged numbers, and the first official planning meeting was arranged before the others arrived. I'll leave you to catch up and discuss next steps on your own terms. I will see some, or perhaps all of you soon.
Take care.
Have a nice evening. Same old Baxter. Just going as he pleases. After a polite incline of his head, Baxter slipped out of the corner through a gap in the crowd. In only a matter of seconds, he was gone. Again. You almost could have believed you'd hallucinated the entire encounter. The floral scent that lingered behind it was in your mind. The money that could have come from anywhere. Maybe Mr. Holden had been nearby. Mr. Holden gave us $20 though, or attempted $20, right? Not 10. That was easier to wrap your head around than the actual reality, except for the piece of undefinable proof. He'd left business cards. As it said, printed in ink, not black. Baxter Ward, wedding planner, was a real entity. Miranda and Terry both took one each for future reference or out of curiosity. No, I saved his number. I even said I texted him. Did he have a new number those days? He peered down at the little piece of cardstock. Oh, I want to check the number. Like, did he keep it? If he kept it, I'm gonna cry. Son of a bitch. It'd be rude not to take what he gave you, so you did. You left the card. Okay, you took the card to check the number. Your friends remained solemnly silent. You must have had a lot on your mind, and they were right. However, Scott had his own way of being well-meaning, a much louder way. I knew it was too good to be true to find someone who would do this on such short notice. It was odd, in my opinion.
Did he bully you as a teenager?
It's okay to say so. Of all the conclusions Scott could have come to, that was an option you hadn't been prepared for, and neither was anyone else. Terry snorted at the concept of Baxter being a bully. He clapped his hands over his face, the business card covering one eye. This was serious, and he couldn't be laughing. Terry and Miranda remembered how Baxter dumped you after one season and never talked to any of you again. Dumped me after one season! Oh, damn. And they knew how you felt about that. They were there. They saw what you went through in his wake firsthand. But Jude and Scott clearly didn't grasp the circumstances. Randy could keep things private. You'd tell them now. It'd be good for everyone to be aware of the whole story. There was no avoiding the awkward conversation at that point. They were your friends. You could be honest. You didn't want to rehash it. It was just too hard to explain. They tell him. He wasn't a bully, he's my ex. Baxter dumped me. I dated him one summer and then he cut contact. We dated until Baxter ended it, but he's nothing to me anymore. I cared about Baxter, but he broke up with me. He refused to even speak again. He was merely a suitor for a season. In other words, a guy who left me. Aw. Baxter's the one who got away. I wanted to stay together. He didn't. Aw. That's what he meant by being incredibly rude. He dropped you.
I'm sorry.
You shouldn't be treated like that. Thank you. But it's understanding because he literally did live on the opposite end of the United States. They were great guys. It was reassuring to know they were on your side, and it made you glad you could be there for them too. June and Scott deserved the best wedding physically possible. Those mixed up thoughts on Baxter and the past interactions and the present circumstances brought one particular memory to the surface of your mind. You couldn't forget it. That scathing line he'd fed to you as part of his rationalization for shutting you out cold. You admitted how Baxter thought their relationship wouldn't last. Keep that secret. That the working relationship didn't need further strain. Yeah. We should focus on the wedding though. What happened in the past doesn't mean you have to put your plans aside. You sure? Yeah, I'm here to help. Just let me know how. He hesitated. She put a hand on his shoulder and Scott was able to accept your words.
You're sure?
Then that's what I'll do. So before you made it, me, Jude, and Baxter decided to meet up tomorrow morning. We have an appointment at his office all penciled in. I'd like you to be there too if you can. Tomorrow morning? Did you hear that right?
Sorry
to spring it up on you like this. Well, I mean, Baxter's not a morning person, but maybe he is now, 5 years later. Jude tagged on that with a shrug. We don't have time to lose. Baxter said we ought to start on it as soon as we can. It was Baxter's idea. Baxter wanted to have a meeting before noon. How would that go? You had to wonder. What happened last time when you tried to do something early with Baxter appeared clear as a morning sky in your mind's eye. Of course, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be there. Wait, them too? Aye. Right, that's fine with me. This was a special moment to the people who mattered to you. It was a point of pride to be one small part of it. And then Miranda kindly pointed out how this get-together was in a restaurant and it could still be used for its intended purpose. It was a much appreciated suggestion. You spent a few minutes focused entirely on which delicious meal to have. No stakes, no pressure. The waiter returned. Each person put in a request for dinner, and that was it. Menus were taken away, you only needed to wait. In the relative privacy of a back-quarter table, Terry solidly dropped his fist onto the table as if calling a meeting.
Nah.
Baxter wasn't wearing black and white. I never thought I'd see the day. Yeah, me neither. He's growing. Growth. Love to see it. But would also love to see it if he, you know... I don't know, talk to me about his feelings or something. Anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.